So welcome everyone. I want to, as usual, kind of set the expectations for tonight's call. Zip, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and set the expectations for this evening's call. As a reminder, this is our Thursday evening strategy session. And our strategy session is where we community share with the community. So the audience for this call is just those who are already in the Limitless family. This is not a place for guests because the things that we talk about might be a little overwhelming for someone who has no idea what's going on. And as a reminder, also, we are not corporate. We don't have a secret ear with anyone in the founders, with the exception of our very own dear Richard, who will be back next week, I believe. I think you'll see him back on the calls next week. But what we share on these calls is kind of the things that we've heard, that we've learned, the calls we've attended. Chances are good that if you guys are staying plugged in, you've seen the same calls, but it's a chance to kind of talk through and think through and take a look at different perspectives of ways to kind of digest the information. Does that sound fair, Kevin?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And I'm sorry?
I was just going to say that we don't necessarily have all the answers, but we can
Right.
definitely get a sense of all the questions that people
Right.
have. We can, maybe work through some of that.
Absolutely, because chances are good if you've thought it, probably Kevin or I have thought it also. So that's kind of, I like to set that standard, if you will. Because I know when we did these in the past, we'd have people come on saying, I can't unlock my, oh, okay. That's a help ticket. So we're, if any of you know me, I am not technical support. I am not that person who is knowledgeable about all things computers. It makes me kind of chuckle. Some things I'm good at, a lot of things I'm not. I know where my lane is. So there's that. So first thing I want to start out with this evening is I want to talk about, well, not the first thing. This is what we'll start with this evening. So we've actually had 3 updates this week. And the 3 updates involve all 3 of the different projects. If you were starting with the Daisy and then moving over to the Limitless with blockchain sports and then into BioLimitless, then you've been in all 3 projects. So let's talk very quickly about the first project. And I think bear with me just a moment because I think I've got a slide here that I want to pull up. If you did not join Daisy, that's okay. This just won't mean anything to you, and that's okay. For those of us who were in Daisy, there were a couple of things updated. Now, here's my caveat on sharing this with you. I don't have any more information than what I'm going to share. I don't know anything secretly. I don't have a little mouse in my pocket that's whispering anything to me. So let's talk very quickly about kind of what's going on here. And first off, Kevin, wasn't it a delight to see Dr. Anna on the call again?
Yes, it was, and it was awesome to hear her explain, what's going on and where she's at. And we hadn't seen her in a while. It was just as exciting to see the lawyer. I forget his name. Heaven knows.
Danielle.
Yeah. And it was great to see him as well, discussing the legal side of everything. So, as I tell everybody that I work with in Daisy, is as long as we see positive progress, it just remains being a waiting game. So, don't see anything negative.
Absolutely. Now, I know a lot of people were asking, and we'll start with Endotech. When are they going public? When are they going public? What are their values of our shares? And the answer is, we don't know and we don't know.
Right.
So Dr. Anna talked about, her whole goal in doing the crowd fund was going public with an algorithm that had never been used before in crypto. And, when crypto first came out, they had really good trading luck, and then not luck, they had good trading results. And then the market kind of shifted, and, crypto is one of those crafty things that is, in a lot of ways, there's not any rhyme or reason as to why it behaves the way it does. And so what they did when, they switched us over to Forex, which did remarkably well. They never gave up on crypto. They were still working on crypto behind the scenes, trying to find that sweet spot of the AI funded trading. And from the way she talked, I think they're getting close to that.
Yes.
So it's, from everything I understood, they're not going public until they have that, because that's going to be their stake in the ground, if you will, in going public, is saying, we're going public and look what we can do for you. Right.
Correct.
And that excites me, because I know the results they achieved when we first started doing the crypto trading. I would look at my results and say, holy smokes. I mean, there were some months we had 20 and 30% results in trading.
Right.
I mean, mind boggling. So that's my understanding with regard to where Endotech is, right? Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the SaaS. It is, I think it stands for software as a system.
Yes.
Okay. And what that means is Endotech has always been a SaaS relationship with us, meaning that we've been using Endotech's software to do our trading. So the fact that we had not been hearing from Dr. Anna did not mean that Dr. Anna checked out. There was nothing to check out on. But it was lovely to have her back on the calls. I just sat back and listened to her and just smiled, So Endotech still wants us to be wildly successful as well, because here's the secret, guys. We're their first success story. We're the ones that they're going to be talking about when they go public. They're going to say, look what we've done here. This is our proof that what we're doing is effective. So they're very well vested in our success. Now, with regard to the funds and the licensing, I don't know why that little, let me see if I can get this. There we go. With regard to the funds and the licenses, Jeremy they feel like they are just so close, like within days of having the licensing completed. And now let me tell you, let me kind of set some understanding around what's going on, because the second paragraph down here talking about the KYC stands for Know Your Customer. If you are new to the crypto space, what Know Your Customer means is that the exchanges, whether it's CoinZoom or Kraken, or the wallets such as TronLink, Binance, all of those, they want to know that we are legitimate people. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of nefarious activities going on throughout the world, and people such as sex traffickers, drug traffickers, child smugglers, all those, they use crypto because it's virtually undetectable. So when they go through the KYC, which is the Know Your Customer, part of the reason is for the AML, which stands for anti-money laundering. They want to make sure we are who we say we are, okay? And I appreciate that as a mom and a grandma and a business person. I appreciate that they want to vet all of us. So once the KYC is in our back office, we will know then what we need to do. We don't know what we need to do yet. We don't know what information we need to provide, and we don't know what the time frame is, because we have not been given the information yet. One of the things I always appreciate about Jeremy and Ilya and Edward is that they always look out for the best part of us. You know, we had some people at the beginning when Daisy was announced it, when Daisy ended, we had some people who, for whatever reason, wanted to exit out of their wallets. Some financially needed it. I get that. You know, no one knows when they come into a project like this that they're going to hit an issue, you know, a couple of years down the road where they need the funds. I get that. You know, there's no judgment anywhere. Some people wanted the exit funds because they wanted to put it into blockchain. There are different reasons why people wanted to pull their money out. Some people had multiple wallets and just wanted to pull out of one because, you know, probably for no other reason than it's their money. Okay. So the exit wallets started, and what they had, the initial agreement or the initial arrangement was that any funds that were pulled out were going to be given the funds minus a 30% performance fee, because that's what Daisy had all throughout the life of Daisy trading. If you withdrew any rewards, there was a 30% performance fee. It was just how it was. Well, what Jeremy announced on the call Monday is that because of the delay, one of the things that they felt was the right thing to do is to not charge a 30% performance fee. They're only going to charge 20%. And you may be thinking, what's a big deal on that? Trust me, that 10% is a big deal. That's just more of your money that you're not having to pay fees on. So that is great. And I'm very confident that all of this will be resolved. And I say quickly, those are Gina's words. Don't take that to the bank, but you know, they've been upfront with us. They've been telling us what's been going on. And, you know, I'm very confident that within, my guess, Gina's words only, is I think probably in the next couple of months, this will be resolved and this will be in the rearview mirror. That's just that, again, that's just Gina's thoughts. Kevin, what do you think about that?
I agree with you. I think that you're absolutely right. I think that one of the things that we know from history is not to get too hung up on dates and times and so on and so forth, because a lot of the things that we're talking about with Endotech and Daisy are just simply out of our control.
Yes,
So it's really nice to say, oh, in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is. But the truth of the matter is, it's an estimate because a lot of things are out of our control. As long as we are doing everything that we can do to make things happen on our end, that's the only thing that we can control. So as long as we have everything that we need done and everything is up to snuff as far as the legal aspects and as far as what Daisy's what Endotech's challenges have been, as long as they're doing their best, we just have to wait. It's just a waiting game. And I think that this call that we're making tonight is important because, as I often tell people, is if you've ever been at the airport and your flight's delayed, the hardest part about that is you never get any information. They never tell you anything.
exactly.
They never update you. But it was nice to get updated with the call this week, and it's nice to be able to update those of you who have been involved and may have missed that phone call. So
And you know, I was thinking about this also today, Kevin, and here's how my brain works. My brain works in kind of analogies, right? This is like whatever. And I know Daisy hit a little bit of a hiccup. It's not where we, the founders, it's not where anyone wanted it to be. Blockchain sports, we were blessed to have that little bit of an extension. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But also they've not started yet with blockchain. They've not started yet releasing the Atleta tokens. And then we've got BioLimitless that I think have shipped out some product, but not a lot of product. And I was sitting here thinking, you know, if I were a negative person, I could be really down on all of this saying, well, you know, look at this, look what they're not doing this, they're not doing that. But here's my analogy of that. If you've ever, we'll use a house, for example, if you've ever had a house built, and if you haven't, you probably know someone who has, because I haven't, my son and daughter-in-law did a few years ago. And here's the thing about having a house built. You go to the builder, you know, they were in this beautiful new subdivision. They got to look at all of these floor plans. They walked in, they took a look at all the different model homes, and they said, this one, but this is the tile we want, and we really like this color better than that. So they worked with the builder, they made the modifications, they signed the contract, life was great, okay? They started breaking ground, and then I said a few years ago, that probably should give you a hint. What happened, Kevin, a few years ago?
Well, there was something that kind of came blowing through the nation, that
Yeah.
got some people on the stick side of the iceberg. So yeah.
Yeah. So we had a minor little hiccup in our overall life in about 2020. And that's when they started this. They started this in like 2019 into 2020. No one was prepared for that. And then you know what else happened? The cost of materials went up if you could get them. If you could get them, the cost of materials went up. And if you couldn't get them, it was a hurry up and wait. Then the house finally got built and they had the walkthrough, and oh my gosh, well, this needs to be fixed and this doesn't look the way we talked about it, and y'all need to fix this. So it's all of the touch-ups afterward. You can have beautiful plans. You can have the best architecture in the country. You can have the most amazing builders, landscapers, whatever, but that does not guarantee that the house is going to be built with perfection to your standards and ready to move in on the day that you agree and you shake hands at the beginning of the contract. So we just have to give grace. We have to know that in each of these projects, and I've said this several times, in each of these projects, guys, we are doing something that truly has never been done before. So are there going to be hiccups? Absolutely. But look at what we get at the other side. We get the rewards of all of that. We get the benefit of that. I think that's pretty freaking awesome.
No, I agree. And just as a general statement that I would say is that we've all, for all three projects, we've all approached people and shared the opportunity with them. And it's my general experience that those that decide to take advantage of any of these opportunities, they are they are generally positive people anyway. And so, as much as there are those that who may have some negative vibes or whatever, most of the people that we know, most of the people that are involved in these projects are positive people because they're optimistic. They're hoping for the best, and so that's that just kind of keep that in mind. So I think that's the way our team is. I think we have a lot of optimistic people on our team, a lot of positive people on our team. So we want to always keep that energy up.
Well, and here's the thing. I only want to be around people who are like me. So I'm going to invite positive people who are resilient, you know. So, and I get that. I get the frustration. I get the challenge for some folks because I don't live in their world. I don't know what their situation is. But overwhelmingly, the overwhelming majority of the folks who are involved in these projects with us are like we are. They're saying, you know what? Sucks. It's not the way I wanted it to be. Wish it would be different. But at the end of the day, in Daisy, my money's still trading.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I'm still going to have some beautiful funds to start rolling my way, At the end of the day, I still have nodes and tokens, coins, if you will. So now let's switch over to blockchain sports. Oh my gosh. So I know that Andre said on not this call that we had yesterday, but the previous call, that no matter what their plan was to be launching the tokens on October 1st. Right? I remember him saying that. Well, it's October 3rd. That hasn't happened yet. And you know what? That's okay, because if you were on the call yesterday, I don't know how excited you are about this. I am tremendously excited about the opportunity to partner with Bybit. If you're new to the crypto world, which I was when I started all of this, Bybit is the number 2 exchange in the world. And when we think of exchanges, we think of Binance, Bybit, CoinZoom's exchange, Clever, Coinbase. All those are different exchanges where you can actually, buy and sell cryptos. Bybit is the #2. And here's the beautiful thing. They reached out to us. We did not go and knock on the door and say, hey, we're looking for partners. They came to us. And they want to partner with us. And this is going to be a social project for them. So what does that mean? What they are looking for, I'm going to pull this back up now. What they are looking for is they're looking for us as a community to show the power that we have in the community by bringing in 10,000 new Bybit users and making just one trade of 100 USDT. So what does that look like? There is a code. It's in Telegram. I did not copy it and put it in here, but there's a code. You go, if you've never had a Bybit account, you can do this. If you have had a Bybit account, then find someone who hasn't and get them to sign up. But what does this mean? Create a new Bybit account. You're going to go through the KYC. Remember, I mentioned earlier, they want to know who we are. So you go through the KYC and you use that code. And here are the prices. Now, these 2 prizes, the pictures need to be swapped. If we only get 150 in the 2 weeks, then someone's going to win a PlayStation. If we hit 500 in the 2 weeks, someone's going to get a new iPhone. If we hit 3,500, someone's getting a Rolex. And if we hit 10,000, someone's getting a Porsche. So pretty sweet, right? So here's what will happen. You'll create your Bybit account. You'll put in 100 USDT. There are going to be fees. We are all familiar with fees. And because there are going to be fees, what they're going to do is they're going to send you a $15 or 15 USDT reward, which will cover the fees. All you need to do is put that 100 USDT in there and make one trade in the futures account. And when you make that trade, maybe you buy on a Bitcoin in the futures. You can either leave that trade there or you can turn around and sell it again. It doesn't matter. But what matters is you've made the trade and then you've left your money in there. You've left the USDT in there for at least 7 days. And once you do that, they're going to send you an additional 5 USDT airdrop. What they're wanting to do is build their community. And they are encouraging us to help build the community. Now, here's the thing. And I know for some of us, we were like, dang, Bybit is not available in all jurisdictions. It's not available in our jurisdiction, okay? Because it is a futures-based product that they're wanting us to do. So does that mean that we can't do this? Well, yeah, because just a VPN will not allow us to do this. But you know what it does mean? We're business owners. We're good at figuring stuff out, right? So what does it mean? I have a friend who is from Mexico. He lives here. He's a citizen here. He has a dual passport. I would be willing, whoops, sorry, hold on. Let me go back over here. He has a dual passport, so he can do a KYC with the passport from Mexico, and he can enroll. My daughter-in-law is from Brazil. She has family in Brazil. I can get them to enroll. It won't benefit me directly. I'm kind of sad about that, but I'm a business owner first and foremost, and I want to partner with Bybit. That's more important to me than getting roughly a $20 airdrop and an opportunity to win a car that I probably wouldn't win anyway, but
Never know, Gina.
Well, I know it only takes one,
True.
but my point is we're business owners and we figure stuff out. We just figure it out. As my husband, somebody said, well, that's not fair. And my husband used to say, life's fair. It sucks for everyone at different times, But we as business owners can help to make this outcome very profitable for Bybit, which in turn means it's going to be profitable for blockchain sports, because guess what? We are all node owners and we are all coin holders. And once this kicks off, that just means more business for blockchain sports, more activity, more node transactions. And with that activity, the cost of the tokens will continue to increase. So yeah, I won't get the direct benefit, darn. But you know what? I can get it through my nodes, and that would be more long-term than even if I were to win the Porsche, which probably I wouldn't, but let's say I did. I'm more excited about the nodes and what I have in the nodes and the tokens than I am even about a Porsche, because with everything that we're looking at and with what I have right now waiting to go into play, a Porsche would be pocket change. It would just be pocket change. Why would I put all of my hopes onto that when that's a one-time deal, and the nodes and the coins will be long-term that I'm building for my family generationally. So that's my thing there. Let's see, what is this? Okay, here's the specifications. We talked about that. Starting date was today, and the ending day is Thursday the 17th. So we've got time. If we do not live in a restricted jurisdiction, we've got time to create our own account. And if we do live in a restricted jurisdiction, we have time to find those who don't and who might want to, create an account. I've got team members around the world, and some of you may as well. So this may not work for me, but maybe I can get my team members in other parts of the world to do this. So it's a matter of just thinking outside of us. Just think outside of me, right? And then BioLimitless.
Well, before we get to BioLimitless, I just want to again just remind everybody that we're into a new phase of blockchain sports where we are brand partners and expect to be able to use the media library that will be coming out soon, and keep pumping up blockchain sports, because just like this project with Bybit, the more we talk about it, the more we share online, the more people will be interested, the more money goes in our pocket, because people will be involved in the crypto part of it, and being part of the marketplace or whatever the other opportunities that we'll have. So just remember to keep talking about it, because even though it's over for joining and becoming a part of it, we're starting to pump up the retail side, and the retail side means the profit side for us. So
yes, and you may be sitting here saying, well, here's the thing. My friend Felice, I don't think she'd be interested because she has no desire to do anything with sports. Okay, I'm not asking her to get on the field and kick a ball around, but you know what I do know about Felice? Felice likes to make money. So I can talk to Felice about not that I'm out recruiting, but when I put on my Facebook page and stuff, I can talk about the tokens.
right. Anybody
Once we have this partnership with Bybit, holy, that's a lot of brand material right there. Holy smokes.
And seeing how they're the second largest, people may be coming to you if they know, if you let the word out about you being involved in crypto in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. And what kind of credibility does that give us? And we say, look at who I'm partnered with in this project,
Yes, totally.
Felice says, yes, I do. I know, sister. So I'm excited about that aspect from a blockchain sports too. Now let's hop over to BioLimitless. First thing, how many of you guys are hopping on to the Wednesday evening calls? Just, say yes in the chat, or raise your hand, or do something. How many of you guys are on those calls on Wednesday nights? Well, if you're not able to make them, like I'm not, because I have choir practice on Wednesday night, and believe it or not, we're getting ready for our Christmas. Oh, there you go, Kevin. We're getting ready for our Christmas. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. I got a couple of people in there saying yes, yes. The calls are recorded, and if you've not already done so, you can join the BioLimitless YouTube page, and the calls are recorded and put there. Lisa on our leader team, Lisa was on the call last night, and he was talking, if I remember correctly, he was talking about detoxifying. I think that's what his topic was, and she said that is the best call she'd ever been on. People need to go back and listen to that call, because that's what Dr. Eric is huge about, gut health, and about making sure we're healthy from the inside out. I mean, that's his whole premise about everything. So the first thing I'm going to encourage you guys to do, if you're available on Wednesdays, join the calls live, because I think he does like a 30-minute session about stuff, and then he does Q&A. So if you have questions, you just type it in and say, hey, Dr. Eric, what about, so it's very worth your time. And if you're not able to attend those, then do like I do and go back and watch the video when it comes out on YouTube. And that has nothing to do with it. Some of you are in blockchain and you're saying, I'm not interested in BioLimitless. Okay. You don't have to be interested in BioLimitless to be interested in your own personal health.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So you can go and listen to that, and if nothing else, stay in contact with that, because we all need better health. We need to take better care of our bodies. And I'm speaking, I am preaching to the choir right now, the choir being of one of me. But I know that we received, let me see if I've got this here, because we received a communication. Those of us who have already done BioLimitless, those of us who already have team members who've purchased something. Okay, so here we go right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'll copy this and I'll put it, click on more. Okay. So I put this in the chat. If you don't know how to save the chat, if you've never done that before, you can do this not from your phone, but if you're on a desktop or laptop device, at the very bottom of the chat box, there are a couple of icons, and then there are 3 dots, dot, dot, dot. You can click on those dots. It'll say more. It opens up a new window. At the very top, it says Save Chat. Okay. So what this is saying, a couple of good things, that payouts are about to start coming out for those of us who have team members. And it says early next week, they should be released from the smart contract. And then it says, once completed, payouts will happen daily for the next 2 weeks. And then once they have all that done, then payout will be instantly each time a purchase is made. And that's what we were used to from the other 2 projects. That's the beauty of the blockchain. Kevin, you purchase some of the master microbiotics from me, and as soon as you click purchase, the reward is in my wallet, right?
Yep.
So
it doesn't touch anybody else's hands. It's done electronically, and there's no
right.
Awesome.
I don't have to wait for Susie in payroll to come back from her vacation to send me my money. It's a beautiful thing, right? And then he said, we just had a call with the global operations team, and shipping should begin 1 week from Monday. So we're about, looks like 10 days out here. And then once that goes live, they expect the shipping to happen within 24 hours of a purchase. Excuse me. And then the last piece of good news here, the debit card ordering is next, and they expect this to go live in the second half of October. So that's about another, week and a half, 2 weeks. So all is looking good. And I want to go back. I know he's apologetic here, Dr. Eric is, because he really wanted this to go as smoothly as it could. But I go back to the building a house. You don't know what you don't know when you first get involved, and even if you're prepared for everything, you can't be prepared for the things that sneak up on you. My son and daughter-in-law could not have been prepared for COVID, nor could the builder. So it's where we're at right now, and it's it's okay. It's okay, because once, and again, I'll go back to, and I say this all the time, my team hears this a lot, and they're like, yeah, we know, Gina, this is a soft launch. And a soft launch means we're just putting a few things out there right now because we're getting all the bugs worked out. We're getting the kinks worked out. We're kicking the tires. We're finding any vulnerabilities. And as we find them, we go back and fix them, put the fixes in place, take care of things, so that when we have the big launch in Dubai in March, everything is seamless and it all flows beautifully. So those are the things I had that I just wanted to touch base on this evening, because after last week, we had boom, boom, all of a sudden, 3 pieces of information on each of the 3 projects. What do you want to add to that, Kevin?
No, nothing. I just want to make sure that everybody kind of stays plugged in to these calls first of all, and because we're much more important than the Telegram channels. No, just teasing. But make sure you stay plugged into the Telegram channels as well, because there's a lot of information. And again, like we said early on, Gina and I don't have all the answers. And so, if you have questions, feel free. But just know that we're not, like Gina says, corporate. We don't know all the answers. But just being able to discuss some things and then trying to research those things and find out what the real answer is. I mean, those are things that we can certainly attempt to do for you guys in this community. But keep sticking with the calls, and even the corporate calls that do come through, they typically come like once a month or something like that, unless there's a big announcement like Bybit or something like that. Then they don't hesitate to jump on the call.
Exactly.
But yeah, just stay plugged in, and everything is on course. It may not be moving as fast as we would like, but as long as the ship is still sailing and heading in the right direction, I'm a happy man.
And I would venture to say, Kevin, tell me what you think.
Sure.
If you're staying updated with the Facebook pages and the Telegram channels, and you have a question, chances are good you know exactly what we know. We don't know anything else. So, stay updated. You owe it to yourself, because it's your money you've put in here. Stay updated. Get on those Telegram channels, get on the Facebook channels, go to YouTube and watch some of the videos. Educate yourself and be prepared, because I'm very blessed. My team is darn near self-sufficient, and I'm really proud of them, because they stay plugged in. They when they have a question, they go dig and they do research and they figure stuff out. And when they can't find what they're looking for, that's when they come to me and say, hey, Gina, what do you know about this? And if I don't know, we'll see what we can do to figure it out. But by virtue of you being on this call, you're a leader, because you're taking the time out to learn and to invest and figure things out. And if you have folks who you recruited to be on your team, then as a leader, you owe it to them to stay connected, to stay informed, and to know what's going on. Because that way, if they come to you and they say, hey, Sally, what's going on with X? Well, if you're staying connected, you can give them a little bit of guidance. And of course, my team knows that Felice is sitting there rolling her eyes. I don't even have to have her on camera to know she's doing this, because my question is, I don't know. What did YouTube say about it? What did the Telegram channel say about it? Because I'm a firm believer in everyone being educated on their own. I don't do what I call the baby bird syndrome, where they sit there and go, oh, feed me, So, but because of that, Felice has a really strong team. Yolanda, because of that, has a really strong team. And, anyway, because we're focused on, learning and staying connected. So we are kind of at the end of what I had planned on talking about. I guess now we can have what we call open mic hour or open mic 15 minutes. So see, Felice, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Do I say that to you?
Never to me, but you said it to others. No, I can't. I kid. Yes. Yes, but you're so right. And I would just like to offer this up as a leader under a leader, that for all those little birdies that want to be fed, those little chickadees, I challenge every single one of you that want to be fed that when your money comes in, you willingly share a huge percentage of it with Gina. So I'm just saying that. So be fed all you want, but make sure you take care of Gina like a good attendee of I don't know, a restaurant, and make sure you take care of your wait staff. And so yeah. So think about that when you are calling Gina saying, will you tell me? And you haven't looked for yourself. Share some of your, rewards, because because if it wasn't for Gina or any of your other leaders, if you don't want to take responsibility for yourself. And that's all I'm going to say.
So now I know why Felice never comes to me, because she doesn't want to share her earnings.
That would be fair, right? So, but I'm sure no one else is thinking about that when they are, coming to you time after time after time. When the rewards come in, they're going to be like, Gina, who?
Yeah, new number, who dis?
Right. Exactly. So that's what I want to say. Besides, Gina, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do.
Well, you're welcome. And Kevin and I both, and Richard and Sally, that there are a core group of us who really dig in, and we do our best to make sure we have information that we need. Truthfully, I mean, I'm going to give props out to Sally, because Sally is the one who has been really, so we have a small group of on a Telegram channel, just a very small group of people here in our area, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we get together weekly and we share strategies. We share a lot, and we educate ourselves, and not just on blockchain sports, not just on BioLimitless, but on blockchain, on on health, on things that are going to help us to be better leaders for our team. And I've got to tell you, Sally is the rock star of our team, because she does, we'll have a question and she'll say, well, here's what I found when I Googled it. Here is a really great YouTube video we need to take a look at for, insert here. And I mean, she is amazing at what she does, and she is very selfless with her time. So if anyone's giving anyone little chits and, little pieces here, I think they go to Sally because of her support, but that's just my vote. And, of course, I say that with a smile, because none of us expects anything. We do this because we're all leaders, and we want everything to, we want blockchain sports to succeed, because again, I'm a node holder. If you are in blockchain sports, you are a node holder. And if you are in blockchain sports and you don't understand what it means to be a node holder, get back with the person who invited you and let them tell you what that means, because it's a beautiful thing. And you also have some of the Atla coins. And if you don't know what that means, it's a beautiful thing. Get back with the person who brought you in about that too, because what we are doing through blockchain sports is we are really working toward building something that You know, and I hear it said a lot. You know, I hear some people say this. I've seen different projects and people say, "Oh, I'm building generational wealth." And I'm thinking, how are you building generational wealth with mascara or, you know, and I say that Mary Kay's been around for, you know, a long time. So some people truly are. So I'm not, you know, I'm not casting aspersions on anything else, but you know, you hear generational wealth. But when I look at blockchain sports and when I look at Daisy, and then when I look at some of the things offered through BioLimitless, I really think that is going to be generational wealth. And I say that with 100% sincerity. I'm setting my grandchildren up for success with this. So if you don't understand the power that you have in your hands and you're like, well, you know, I put some money in, you know, big whoop. Well, yeah, big whoop, especially when it starts paying out. And if you don't understand the magnitude of what you've done, get with the person who brought you in and have them really sit down and explain to you, okay, you have a founders pack too. Let me tell you what that's going to mean going on and on. Because Kevin, you hear me say this a lot, and I know you laugh at me when I say it, but I only wish I had one node on the blockchain for Bitcoin or Ethereum.
For sure.
I wish I only had one node on either of those, because I would never have gotten involved in this project because I'd be sitting in the Maldives somewhere, you know, drinking umbrella drinks with a cabana boy. I mean, it's what I'd be doing because of the money that would just be coming in over and over. Terry and I might be at the Bahamas. You never know, you know? But that's the power of what we have in our hand. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. And to me, it's really very humbling. Well, Sally says, thanks for all that was said and for starting the calls up again. I really missed everyone when we were off those 2 weeks because everyone was so focused on hitting that last minute extension so we could bless more people. And believe it or not, I really missed you guys. I mean, when Richard talked about doing these calls, I was like, dang, they take so much time and it's such a commitment. And oh my gosh, I probably get as much out of these calls as you guys do. Just the interaction that we have here and the camaraderie that we all have as a team. We're a really good group, and I really missed you guys. I think that we're going to be changing the time, Kevin, right? I think we're going to be changing it from 6:30 p.m. Central to 7 p.m. Central. So that will give folks an extra half hour to finish dinner or get home from work or whatever it is. So I think we're going to be changing going forward. I think we're going to be changing the time up or back a half an hour. So look for that whenever the publication comes out, whenever Karina sends out the notification about the call, just double check the time. So I'd hate to say we're doing that and then next week we don't do it and you log on at 7 and you've missed half the call. So whatever time is on the announcement is the time that we'll be rolling out. And we're going to be doing that for both the business presentation call and this call. Well, guys, I feel like I kind of did a lot of the talking and droning on. My hope is that you found value in the information that was shared, you know, and if you have anything to add, you know, it's kind of one of those speak now or forever hold your peace because the call's almost over. But be sure and remember, if you want to save the text in the chat, remember you go down to the three dots at the very, very bottom, hover over it, it says more, click on more, and the very top tippy top option says save chat. And I guess if everyone is good with where we're at, I say we call this a night and just go and celebrate our time with our families and be prepared for bringing folks on to next Tuesday's call. So I thank all of you for being here. And like I said, next week, Richard should be back on the calls again. He's missed us. I think he's home now, and I'd be willing to bet that he is probably very jet lagged because he was halfway around the world. I think that the flight was, I think it was over 20 hours, I think. So it's long, long, long flight. And I'm sure he's probably, passed out asleep right now. I know I would be. Oh, Korea's 13. Okay. Good to know. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and mark your calendars for Wednesday evenings. I think it's 6:00 p.m. Central for Dr. Naputi's calls. And if you can't make that, then go to the YouTube channel and start listening to those calls. He does a wonderful job of just educating you about yourself and about your health. So guys, until next week, we will see you all next Tuesday on the business presentation call, and we'll see you next Thursday. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.